This symposium is titled Getting It Built. I think one of the core problems that we've talked about in Passive House New England monthly meetings is that there are a lot of people who want to build low energy. There are a lot of people who want to build really efficient buildings, whether they're houses, institutional, commercial, whatnot. And what we need to do is find a way to convince clients that this is what they should be doing, that this makes sense from a fiscal side as well as from an environmental side. So we're focusing today on people who are doing this, who are making the case, who are getting the things built, who will serve hopefully as inspiration and provide instruction for the rest of us who want to do it. A little bit about, this is my little brief introduction of what Passive House is. It will be really quick, and I'm going to hand the reins over to Liz, who's our chair of the symposium, and we'll get started. But there are a lot of people here who are not building industry professionals or who are new to Passive House. So what is Passive House? To start with, there is a problem. The problem is that buildings are the largest contributor to climate change. Buildings use about 45% of the energy in the United States. They generate about 45% of the global greenhouse gases. So the solution clearly has to be to reduce building energy use. So this slide right here, I don't have my pointer. This is what an old building, how much energy an old building uses. This is how much energy a building built to Massachusetts base code uses. And this is how much energy a Passive House uses. So a lot of us think Passive House might be a good solution for the problem that we have. What is Passive House? Essentially, Passive House is nothing more than an energy use intensity standard. It says you need to meet these four metrics. Be below 4.75 kBTUs per square foot per year for specific space heat demand. Same thing for specific cooling demand. And total energy demand needs to be below 38 kBTUs per square foot per year. And airtightness needs to be below 0.6 ACH a Pascal 50. For people who don't know about these numbers or what they mean, which includes a lot of architects who have no idea, probably a lot of people in this room don't even have an idea of how much energy their own house uses, much less what is a good square foot budget of energy. Basically, all of this up here can be summarized by this right here. If you build a house that's well insulated, you need very little heat. If you don't have a house that's well insulated, your heat goes everywhere. It uses a lot of heat. So this right here is the Passive House concept. One thing that you'll hear a lot today is the Passive House Planning Package, or the PHPP. Most people will just say the PHPP. And what that is a really intense spreadsheet with many tabs. It's an energy modeling software that's based in Excel, that has a lot of variables, that's complex, and it allows us to figure out those previous variables. So this is one example of the verification. This is actually the verification page for my Passive House retrofit that's in construction right now, and will be on the tour tomorrow. So the bottom line summary of what the Passive House planning package, what the Passive House standard is, it's to let the architecture do the work. So the heat in the building is coming from the sun, it's coming from people, and it's coming from equipment within the building. We have a really tight envelope that's well insulated, that's keeping it all inside. And then we add a mechanical ventilation system, either an HRV or an ERV, to bring fresh air in. And that's the sum of what it is in the picture. This, I have to say, is courtesy. In fact, a lot of these slides are courtesy of Albert Reiter and Tittman Architects and J.D. Clancy. And that is the standard. Proof of concept. Does it work? No standard, whether it's Energy Star, Passive House, LEED, if it doesn't do what it say it's doing, it's just garbage. So it doesn't work. About 20,000, maybe more, buildings have been built in Europe to the standard. They have been studied. I think it's over 1,000 buildings, I believe, were included in the CFIUS study. I'm not sure, but it's been studied with post-occupancy results. And I actually heard Joe Steebrook about 4 weeks ago say at the North American Passive House Conference that it works. So if Joe Stevebrook of Building Science Corporation says it works, it must work. He said a lot of other things I really disagreed with, like solar, like PV doesn't matter, but he says it works. And one more proof of concept is that the Passive House Planning Package, the PHPP, is actually recognized by the Massachusetts Residential Building Code as an alternative compliance path to energy standards. And so just to go back to this graph right here, so what state of Massachusetts says, you can use the PHPP as your compliance path, and for heating load, specific space heat demand, you just need to be below 20 kBTUs per square foot per year, and then you meet the base building code in Massachusetts. So just to give you some idea. So that I think is, whoops. That is the end of my presentation. We have a standard that's very simple. We have verification, and this is where I get to turn the program over to our symposium chair. Liz McCormick has tirelessly volunteered her time, energy, and effort for several months to bring this whole event together, and I think she deserves a big round of applause, and then she can start speaking.
Welcome, first of all. This is great to see all of you here. So another thing, we're going to be filming today. 360 Chestnut is here. 360 Chestnut is, they're always looking for articles and blogs and videos and just what people are doing in the area in the world of energy efficiency. So feel free to talk to this gentleman in the back. So let me just introduce you to who's here. We have 11 volunteers, 25 sponsors and vendors. Thank you all so much for your support. 11 speakers, and 80 registrants. So just to give you an idea, I think our, I don't know where Kristen went, but our symposium last year was about 60 people.
94, give or take.
94. So we're doing better, and I know we had several more people registered today. So who's here? We have 43% architects and designers, 19% contractors and builders, 12% just people who are interested, 10% in real estate development, 10% engineers and raters, 4% government and public policy, and 1% educators.